Maxine, how have you been?
Hi, I'm doing okay. How are you?
Good. So our last session, we talked a little bit about your social isolation, which is one of the goals that we've been working on and minimizing that. So you did tell me that you had a work event coming up, so your homework was to attend that work event. So were you able to go?
I did go to the work event, yes.
Okay, and how did that go?
It was okay. I kind of didn't really talk to many people, and then a few people I work with came up and talked to me.
Okay. So how did you feel about the event?
I felt okay. I felt a little uncomfortable and maybe awkward. Just kind of stood around for a little while.
Okay. All right. Well, kind of branching off of that, we are going to be doing an ABC model that is going to focus on that event solely. So we'll be able to kind of dig more into that. So what ABC is, so A stands for activating event. So that's going to be any event that makes your stress levels increase, or just where it's not normal for you. And then B is going to be any belief you have about that activating event. Any automatic thoughts, automatic beliefs that you're having, as well as the emotions that you get from that belief, from that event. And then the consequence is, C is the consequence, and that's just going to be, the emotional or behavioral consequences of your automatic beliefs. So from the consequences from your beliefs, so from B.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
It might sound a little confusing right now until we kind of dig more into it.
I think it makes sense.
Okay. All right, so we're just going to go ahead and start. I have a form. It's just called an ABC worksheet. So we're just going to go through it. So if you see me writing, I'm just going to be filling in those portions of the form.
Okay.
All right, so we'll start out with A. Like I said, A, again, is an activating event. So you mentioned that you had went to the work event. So what, either that event itself, or was there something that happened at the work event that caused you any type of stress?
Yeah, I was there and kind of just checking it out by myself. I didn't go with any coworkers or anything. And then while I was there, a group of coworkers came up and started talking to me about like work and my life, but I'm not friends with them. Like I don't talk to them at work, and so it stressed me out.
All right. So we are going to do a little bit of imagery. So this will help for you to be able to visualize the event. It will help you to be able to differentiate your feelings from your thoughts about this event. And so if you could go ahead and close your eyes right now. So imagine that imagine that you're at your work event, and your coworkers are starting to approach you. So tell me a little bit about how you are feeling in this moment.
I'm feeling anxious. I'm wondering why they're coming up to talk to me.
Okay.
If they're coming up to like talk to me about why I'm by myself.
Okay.
Or maybe because they don't talk to me very much, maybe they're gonna come up and talk to me to see if I'm the weird girl at the office or something.
Okay. So in those thoughts, so your feelings and your emotions are that you are anxious and you're unsure. So your thoughts of your coworkers coming up and trying to talk to you, you are unsure of why they're coming up to talk to you. Are there any other beliefs that you have about why they could be coming up to talk to you?
Maybe they feel bad for me because I'm there by myself,
Okay.
and so they're just coming to talk to me so I'm not standing alone.
Okay. So if you are believing that they are only coming up to you because you're alone, and talking to you, let's see, so out of pity, so they're talking to you because they see you're standing alone and you don't have anyone else to talk to. How does that make you feel?
Embarrassed and uncomfortable, and like I don't want to be in that position.
Okay, that's good. And you can open your eyes now. So you're feeling embarrassed, you are feeling even more alone because you don't feel like you can open up to them about those feelings. So if you're walking away from the situation and you're thinking, these coworkers only talk to me because I have no one else to talk to. They're only talking to me because I'm over here by myself, because they have not ever made any efforts to talk to me previously. And I'm only bringing that up because you had mentioned that the last session about why you don't go to these work events. So leaving this work event, what are you concluding? So what are you thinking about work events? What are you thinking about talking to your coworkers now?
I really don't want to go to any more work events because I was uncomfortable and I didn't become friends with any of my coworkers.
Okay.
And so I just felt out of place.
Okay. All right. So what I'm hearing you saying is that you now are, in your mind, are confirming that you don't have any friends. And this is just based off of this worksheet. I'm not saying that you don't have friends, just clarifying for the worksheet. So you're saying that in your mind you are thinking that you don't have friends and that you don't feel comfortable enough to open up to anybody, and you don't have any people to talk to because you don't feel comfortable with them. Is this because of some of the trust issues that you've had in the past?
I would say so.
Okay. All right. And can you confirm or deny that you are still having those trust issues?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to challenge those thoughts a little bit. So we're going to kind of do it again with like the same event, but we're going to take more of a positive spin on it with some more positive beliefs. And I know that thinking positive is not as easy as everyone says, so I can help you through that process. All right. Well, for one, do you have any questions or comments to make about the first portion? No? Okay. All right. All right. So again, your coworkers have approached you. They're talking to you about their night, talking about work, asking you some questions about your life. So from a more positive standpoint, what are some other beliefs or reasons you think that they might be coming up and talking to you?
Maybe since I don't normally talk to them at work, they see the event as an opportunity to get to know me more.
Okay. So if they are coming over to you and talking to you to get to know you more, and that's not something that they usually do, and other people have not taken the time to do, how does that make you feel? What kind of emotions does that bring up?
I mean, it would make me kind of happy or excited that maybe I could make some friends to have at work.
Okay. So based off of that statement, what would you believe after leaving the event? If you're thinking that you're happy that you possibly have new friends at work and maybe outside of work, what kind of things would you believe leaving the event?
That I would have people that I could talk to
Okay.
at work and outside of work, and maybe wouldn't be by myself all the time.
Okay.
And if I made those friends, maybe I could make different friends too.
Okay. All right. And so, if I'm hearing what you're saying, that possibly these could be potential people that you eventually will trust to become your friends more than just acquaintances.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, I thought that was good that you didn't really need a lot of my help thinking about those positive traits. So that was just a way of me challenging you that you can think positively, because I know that sometimes we get caught up in our negative thoughts, and if we are dealing with our own whether it's our own insecurities or just our own thoughts, especially the negative ones, that can cause us to think negatively about other people and just about situations as a whole. So I thought you did really well with thinking positively in that. So what do you think about, tell me what you think about you thinking positive in general.
I think that I could maybe start to try and do it more
Okay.
to be less negative, and maybe that would help me
Okay.
feel confident to open up
Okay.
to some people.
Okay. So like I said, thinking positively can be very challenging, but do you think it would be, how do you think that you would do with coming up with at least one or two positive statements for every negative, or one or two positive thoughts for every negative thought that you have throughout the day? And I'm not saying that you're going to have to constantly repeat it to yourself, but even, in the end, like, after we've been working on this for a while, we might actually get to that point where you're able to repeat that to yourself, and you're able to actually visualize yourself really thinking and really believing those thoughts. But just for now, just jot it down. If you have a piece of paper, or if you have the notes section on your phone, just to type it in your phone and just refer to it a couple times throughout the day, just to know that just confirming that you do have the ability to have positive thoughts and to overthink some of those negative thoughts.
Okay.
You think you can do that?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. You sure you don't have any questions about anything?
I don't think so.
Okay. Well, overall, how do you think the session went?
I think it went good. I like the idea of trying to think more positively about stuff like that.
Okay.
I think maybe it would change some of my outlook.
Okay. Sounds good. I mean, that's what I want to hear. So how do you feel about possibly doing another one of these ABC worksheets without me?
Okay.
Yeah?
I could try it.
Okay. So for your homework for the next session, since we are about to wrap up, is to complete one of those worksheets. But I did make sure to type out the instructions, just in case you forgot about any steps in the process or you don't remember some things, which is fine because we've only done it one time, so I don't expect you to be like a pro at all. I'm definitely not sometimes. So so just fill that out, and if there's anything that you have trouble processing through, or you just forget and the instructions really aren't clearing it up for you, just make a note, and then we can go over it next session, which I think our next session is it Tuesday at 4?
Yes.
Okay. So we will go over next Tuesday, the beginning of our session, and then kind of process through those thoughts and that activity that you were able to put on that form.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
You have any questions for me?
Mm-mm.
All right. Well, I'll see you next Tuesday.
Okay. See you next Tuesday.